Sorry, bit of an itch on my back. Okay, so we'll continue with the Wemyss malts range of whiskies that I managed to get from Eric and Laura, and I'm not going to waffle on about Wemyss malts. If you want to know more about them, about Eric and Laura, who kindly donated the whiskies, just go back to yesterday's, which is the Lord Elco blend, and I give you all the information that you will ever need, kind of, about Wemyss malts and them as a company, and how they started, etc., etc., etc. So Wemyss malts sort of main line is a range of blended malts, and they have it's a member of the family. I didn't write her name down, but I think it's Isabella Wemyss, and a quite highly regarded and well-known whiskey expert, author, blender, a guy called Charles McLean, who looks like this, and is very, very highly regarded in the industry as a whole. And the pair of them, along I think with a few other people as well, are essentially like a tasting chamber. And they actually describe themselves as the whiskey equivalent of a négociant in wine, in terms of they are very carefully selecting whiskies and casks and individual casks to blend together to provide almost like a superior release, by being very selective in where they're buying from, in order to combine the best of what they can get hold of and the best that they can find, to kind of bring the combination of very, very good into excellent. Now, they have I suppose you'd call it a standard range, and okay, technically I'm kind of not adhering exactly to the rules in terms of this isn't one of the three sort of standard ones, but this was one that was recommended to me by Eric as the better representation of what they're offering, and it's a donation, so I'm not going to turn it down. So they have three which are named after essentially what they're like, so not where they're from, or to try and get an indication of what whiskies are in there. This is what to expect when you're drinking it. So they've got, I'm going to try and put, if I can find a picture of the three, I'll put the three out now. But there's the Hive, so obviously honey character. Not if you're me with a 6-year-old daughter who has the Disney Channel, and the Hive was a kids' TV program that you used to end up watching every single day. Not that. So there's the Hive. There was Spice King, which had sort of spicy notes and soft spice and everything like that, and Peat Chimney, which is essentially their smoky version. So it included Islay whiskies in, and it was of the three, it was the smokiest. Now this one that Eric and Laura provided me is called Kiln Embers. Now this was released back end of last year, 2015. As a limited edition. Now they had a limited edition the previous year called Velvet Fig, and that probably gives you an indication of what that one tasted like. But this came out back end of last year as a limited run of 12,000 bottles, and it apparently uses, that's exactly the right size, 2.5 cl. This apparently uses, Kiln Embers is double the amount of Islay whiskey that is in the Peat Chimney. So this is taking their smokiest, peatiest whiskey and then going even more full on. So this will be quite interesting to try, because I only had the Big Peat yesterday, and that's still kind of up here. Not much is up there, but the Big Peat's still up there. So it'll be very interesting to see what this is like, because blended malt, similar style, Islay whiskies in there, possibly not all Islay whiskies. There may be some other stuff in there to try and balance it out and temper things a little bit. Bottled at 46% as well. Again, that view of we don't want to bottle at 40 because that might dilute it slightly too much, but cask strength is probably just a bit too full on. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what this is like. Lovely on the nose. If you like Islay whiskies, you're going to like this. Classic Islay. Smoke, iodine, medicinal notes, a touch of mint, a touch of dark chocolate as well, kind of like After Eights. But really, really well balanced. Not too intense, not too full on in your face. Now obviously Big Peat talked about the fact that they were 40 ppm. And if you don't know anything about ppm, go and watch the Big Peat one, because I try and talk about that as well. That's about the only thing I think I actually got right in the Big Peat video. But I don't really want to risk repeating myself, because I know I do that awful lot, Chris Cook, with prickle and give myself a head start and all the other things that I keep saying every video. But classic Islay on this, but really not the full-on kind of Lafroigan Ardbeg. It's not too far off though. I would, just nosing it, I would hazard a guess, particularly after the Big Peat. This is probably about 35-40 ppm. Now this is spicier than the Big Peat, and earthier. Really earthy tones in that, and a lot more kind of dark smoke. So this is much more bonfirey than the Big Peat was. Big Peat had this honeyed element to it. This has much more of a smoky tang, almost like a barbecued meats type feel to it. I'm not sure whether I give this the edge actually. The Big Peat was really good, but the smokiness on this, I tell you what, Kiln Embers is a fantastic name for it, because it is bang on. Well, that's the point. I'm not sure I've put the bottle up, so if I've not put the bottle up already, I'm going to put a picture of the bottle up now. This is proper barbecue and coals and fire and bonfire smoke. I've had a couple of Islas in the past. I think it was, I did one where it had like an Isla element to it, black bottle. And it was like, I think I described it as being stood on the beach and having a bonfire right over in the distance, and just getting these little wafts on the sea air of the smoke, kind of, half a mile away, but the smoke's just kind of wafting into your nose. This is practically being stood on top of the fucking fire. This is really, really smoky. It's not massively intense, but even now, it's been a good 30 seconds since I've had it, since I drank some, and I can still on my tongue taste this smoky ashiness. Not unpleasant unless you don't like that type of style, but I can still taste it now. Unfortunately, my wife's not going to give me a kiss goodnight tonight because of the way that my mouth is going to taste. But it's very obvious and lingering still now. I'm not going to keep rabbiting on, but I can still taste it. It's not a hugely complex whiskey in terms of there's a lot of smokiness, but there's not really much kind of honeyedness or anything like that. But if you like smoky whiskies and it's smoke, it's not medicinal character. This is smoke. Really is the most obvious trait of it all. But if you're looking for that, and if you like that, this is going to go down an absolute treat. Now this is about 40 quid a bottle, which to be perfectly honest is not too bad a price at all, because it certainly competes with a lot of Islay whiskies. This is definitely one for hardened Islay drinkers. In terms of the smokiness that's in there, I certainly wouldn't recommend this as an introduction to Islay whiskey, because it's intense enough. Now, this is going to sound odd, it's intense, but it's not powerful in terms of it doesn't smack you in the face. It's not cask strength, and I'm glad it's not cask strength, because I think that would probably be too full on. And potentially at like 40%, it wouldn't have the intensity that's there. But just the level of smoke, and it's proper bonfire, barbecue, ashy smokiness that's in there. It's very distinctive, but would put quite a few people off if they weren't already into Islay whiskies and interested themselves. That is fascinating. That is really, really good. Definite one for Islay fans. If you do like your smoky, peaty whiskies, give that a go. And 40 quid is actually a really good price for it. Very, very impressed with that indeed. So that's another one down, and the next one I'm very much looking forward to, because this is a brand new project and it's something that I've never had before, even in terms of the actual type of whiskey that I'm going to be trying. I've never had anything like this, so really looking forward to it. That was a cracking one to finish off on. Eric and Laura I think you probably made the right choice in giving me a sample of that rather than the other ones, because if that is a good representation of what the quality of your other whiskies, then I think you're onto a winner there, definitely. So yeah, I shall see you at the next one. Cheers.